Hello, everyone. Welcome to week six, September 11th, the Doctrine and the Global War on Terror. This week's going to look a little bit different than most of our normal assignments. So what I kind of want you to do is go through a little bit and browse the national security strategy of the United States of America. So this post 9/11 NSS was viewed as a kind of radical departure from the past. It articulated the idea that both the US wanted to engage in preemptive war, which was actually more preventive, and that we would make no distinction between terrorists and the states who harbor them. So the idea that this was a global war on terror, that there would be no safe havens and no kind of geographical or temporal distinctions. Along with that, you're going to read a great piece by Anita Crawford looking at the justice of preemption and preventive war doctrines. So, kind of history of preemption and prevention in just war thinking. So, while George W. Bush spoke the language of preemptive war, it was actually quite preventive because it wasn't this instant, overwhelming idea that you need to act. So, the conventional notion from the Caroline precedent in the 1800s was if someone is essentially sending their military along your border, you don't have to wait for them to cross in order to engage in a defensive, preemptive strike. Whereas the US and Iraq was much more preventive. So I'm going to do a short lecture on this as well, especially highlighting some things that I want you to see. But Bush's war from PBS Frontline, two parts. It's a long one. I understand that, but truly, if you watch this, you will have a better understanding than any professor in the world on this topic. You get top level interviews with the people making decisions. You can see the ways in which there was infighting, especially between Colin Powell and Donald Rumsfeld. You can see the skepticism that Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld had for the CIA. So much so they were dismissing CIA, kind of putting pressure on them. And they didn't go along with the line that somehow Saddam Hussein was connected to 9/11 and that he did not possess weapons of mass destruction. So in response, Cheney had them create their own Office of Special Plans in the Pentagon to essentially get the intelligence that they wanted. So they were crafting the intelligence around the policy rather than the other way around. So this two-part documentary is really, really kind of important, and I think you will find it immensely fascinating, especially for those of us that lived through the moment. I think we have a kind of caricatured understanding of what happened. It happened so quickly, and there's so much debate. This really gives you a great overview. So just skim the national security strategy. I just want you to kind of read through it a little bit. This is a good read as well. And then there's Hassan Butt. Why did the US invade Iraq in 2003? This is kind of a 2019 retrospective that takes you through kind of the political science rationale, whereas these PBS Frontlines are going to give you kind of the inside story in a really, really, really powerful way. So highly recommend take the time to watch those. I'm going to throw in a little bit of a lecture as well, just highlight some things that I want you to check out. So that's going to be it for this week. For the lecture, I really look forward to reading all of your National Security Archive outlines. And I'm more than happy to meet with you this coming week. I'm flying back from Italy for the Gamma Arezzo trip. It was a big success, and hopefully we'll be able to have a lot of you on that if we're able to do it again next year. So stay tuned. I will be meeting with you kind of individually as well if you'd like to talk a little bit more about your outline. Overall, the ones that I've seen so far are really fantastic, but take the time, reach out. We can schedule an appointment either by phone or by Zoom to have a quick chat if you have questions about how to continue with the National Security Archive outline. I'm happy to give kind of more extended feedback than just the stuff in the comment section. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to chat with you, Zoom with you, get to hear what you're passionate about and what you're exploring in this research topic so that I can give you perhaps some additional sources or some kind of direction to go. So have a great one, everyone. We'll see you soon.